I say, what do you have to lose? But I say the same thing about the education. So we're last per pupil. We're last. We're at the bottom of the list in terms of the capabilities. 40 different countries. We're at the bottom of almost every list. But we're the top of the list in cost spent per pupil. We spend more money per pupil than any other country in the world, by far. And yet, we're last on the list in terms of, so what the hell do we have to lose? But I also know, like places like, go back to two I just mentioned, but look at Iowa, look at Idaho, look at some of the, you'll have some of the best school systems in the world. And you know what we'll do? We'll give them about half the money that we send them now. And for half the money, they'll have a lot of money left over. We'll cut our budget in half. And not everybody's going to be great. I mean, Gavin Newsom will not do a good job with education. So I don't expect that out of him. But I don't expect it out of certain other people. I don't want to mention too many people, but he'll do a horrible job, it won't be any worse than it is now. It can't get any worse. But many of the states, I would say 40 of I went over them, 40 of the 50 states will do much better. And I'll bet you 30 of the states will be phenomenal. It'll be like beautiful. It'll be like Norway. You know, Norway has a great education system. In New York, they said, yes, we're studying the Norwegian plan. Oh, really? You're studying the Norwegian plan? Well, you better bring a lot of cops along because you're having a lot of problems, right? We're studying the plan of Norway and Denmark. And actually, China is very high on the list. I mean, China's number 3 or 4 on the list. Think of it. Can you imagine that China is number 3 or 4 on the list? No, we're going to give it back to the states, and most of those states are going to do a phenomenal job, and we'll spend less than half the money on education. We'll have about 2 people in Washington. The 2 people will make sure that we have to guarantee that they're teaching a little English, right? That English is out there. But basically, there won't be a lot of coordination because other than, again, common sense, we're going to save a fortune, and many of our states will produce unbelievable students that will be able to rival Norway and Denmark and all of these places that are. Some won't, and that's okay. It's a lot better than it will be now. I will also take historic action to defeat the poison of left-wing gender ideology and restore the timeless truth that God created 2 genders, male and female. And I will immediately, on my first day, sign an executive order to keep men out of women's sports. That'll take about 10 minutes. And I will fully uphold the Second Amendment because your guns are under siege. And I protected them for 4 years. You were protected. We will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech right from the beginning, and I will secure our elections. I will secure our elections, and as I said, our goal will be one-day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and a thing called voter ID. You know, when you negotiate with the Democrats, you start off, you say, look, the one thing we have to have voter ID. No deal. And I said, wait a minute, let's get this. We want voter ID. In other words, a little identification, right? Nope, we don't want to have that. Why don't they want? Because they want to cheat, that's why. They will. You know, when you go into the Democrat, I always say Democrat, you know, they'd rather have it the Democratic National. It's much nicer sound. Why don't they change the name? It's probably better. They hate it when you say the Democrat National Convention, right? It's much more beautiful. Actually, even when I make a speech, if I want to make a nice, elegant speech, let's say I came in here with a different attitude today, and I said the Democratic National Convention. Now I say the Democrat National Convention. It sounds flat, right? But I call them that because they don't want to be called that. They don't want to be called that. But when you go into their convention, you've got cards that are like, do you ever see some prisoners where they go like this? Well, how about my card? Did you see that picture of me? Did you see that? Do you believe that one? My parents said, what the hell happened to my boy? That was not in the cards. They didn't teach me that at the Wharton School of Finance. No, they're bad. These are bad people. But they have all sorts of information. They have everything. They have everything down. So it's okay for them when they have their convention to have a big card on your chest, hanging down off your chest. But it's no good for voting. They don't want it for voting because they want to cheat. We're not going to let them get away with it anymore. And there is one thing I will say, too big to rig. You make it too big to rig, we don't have to worry about it. There's a level at which they can't. If you took the 10 worst presidents in the history of the United States and added them up, they would not have done near the destruction to our country as crooked Joe Biden and the Biden administration have done. He's crooked. He's a total thief. So if you want to save America, get your friends, get your family, and get everyone out to vote. You got to go vote. I'll say it again and again. Vote, Christians. You gotta vote. And do it early if you want. You know, do it early, do it. Just do it. You gotta vote. And watch your vote, guard your vote, and follow your vote. Follow your vote. Michael Watley's doing a great job. He's here. Michael, thank you very much, Michael. Thank you. And if you want to volunteer to help us defend election integrity, sign up at protectthevote.com. I tell my people, I don't need any votes. We got all the votes we need. I don't need votes. All I want to do is make sure that we guard our vote. It's guard. We stop the steal, okay? You know, there's a lot of expressions. I want the vote guarded. I want the steal stopped because we don't need the votes. We have the votes. We have more votes than we need. What we need, I tell these guys, I tell even RNC, I tell Michael, I tell Laura, I don't care. We have all the votes. What I don't want is those votes to disappear. They disappear. And new votes appear, brilliantly appear. That's what we have to do. If we do that, we have it made. If we don't do that, we're fools, okay? We're fools. In conclusion, America has always been a nation won, built, and sustained by Americans of faith. So true. It was faith that led the Pilgrims to cross an ocean and settle this majestic continent. It was belief in our Creator that led the Patriots to defend their liberties in the war for independence. It was belief in America's God-given destiny that pushed the pioneers to journey west. It was trust in God that led the generations of American believers to end slavery, defeat fascism and communism, and expand civil rights and make this into the greatest and most exceptional nation in the history of the world. But now we are a nation in serious decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, willpower, and strength. We are a nation that has lost, quite simply, its way. But we are not going to allow this horror to continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. With the right leadership, every disaster crooked Joe Biden has created can be fixed, and it can be fixed very quickly. Every problem can be solved, and every wrong can be rectified. By this time next year, America's borders will be strong, sealed, and secure. We will let people come into our country, but they will be let in legally. They will come in through a legal process. Inflation will be in full retreat. Our economy will be roaring back. Optimism will be surging. The American dream will be thriving again for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. Law and justice will reign all throughout our land. Freedom will be restored. The flame of liberty will be burning bright again. Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, will be a fading memory of the past. And our great silent majority, including the once forgotten men and women of our country, will be the ones shaping America's magnificent future when I am the 47th President of the United States. Because we are all Americans, and together we will show November 5th to be the most important day in the history of America. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. We will make America free again. And we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Faith and freedom. Ralph, thank you. God bless you all. God bless you.